Sterling High School, Channel 19, winner of the National Emmy Award for the Best Live Game Broadcast.
You're watching Sterling High School, Channel 19, serving Hynella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford.
For the first time since 1971, Sterling is South Jersey champ.
Went on to become the New Jersey Tournament of Champions winner. South Jersey's never won it before. So the Sterling Lady Knights and that string sing. South Jersey is well represented now.
Sterling is going to the championship game.
Looks like he's fouled there. Put on a desperation shot, and there he goes. It's good! It's
Hello everybody and welcome into some more Sterling basketball action as we're here watching your Lady Knights play the Gateway Gators here today. We've got a pretty exciting one, pretty close and even within the records. We take a look going into it. And you see your Lady Knights at 10-9 and 7-5, and then you see the Gateway at 7-11 and 3-8. Not the best, and they're full Colonial Liberty. We see at the top Haddon Township at 10-1 in the division and 17-3 overall. Haddon Heights at 8-2 in the division, 14-6 overall. Followed by Haddonfield and the Bulldogs with 7-3 in the division, 12-8 overall. And then you see your Sterling Lady Knights at 7-5 in the division, 10-9 overall. And then a pretty big jump down to Woodbury at 3-7 in the division and 5-15 overall. And then at the bottom, the West Deptford Eagles at 3-8 in the division, 7-12 overall. And then the Colonial Patriot standings, see Audubon undefeated in the division at 10-0 and then 15-2 overall. Then followed by Gloucester at 6-5 in the division, 13-6 overall. And then we can go a couple down to where we see the Gateway Gators at 3-8 in the division, 7-11 overall. And then followed by Paulsboro, who has not won in either side, 0-10 in the division and 0-14 overall. So we take a look at Sterling, the fourth in the Colonial Liberty. They tend to score around 33 points, and their defense lets up a little more than that with 37 points per game. Lexi Kuhn, the highest scorer, averaging 11 points per game, then followed closely by Paris Logan, averaging 10. And then there's Jordan Frazier and Amber Wilsey both sharing 4 points per game. Then the other side of things, the offense in Woodbury scores about 35 per game, and then the defense lets up about 33. We see Bella Feeney with the most points per game at 14, then followed by Peyton Cutler at 5, Soraya Gary at 4, and then Jada Code at 3 points per game. So the game history, Sterling leads the series 18-0 since 2007. Gateway's searching for the first win, and then we see in the power points, Gateway's stuck at 14 in theirs in the Group 1, and then Haddon Township leads the way, and then Sterling in 8th, barely edging out of currently with a home game trying to fight for a little higher in the positions. The keys to the game here is team defense, rebounding, and limiting the turnovers for the Lady Knights. We've seen it throughout all year. They've had a bit of a struggle on those two bottom things there, and they want to try and get some improvements against a team like Gateway that could allow some of it. So we're going to take a step back real quick as we let the girls introduce themselves.
Madison Sims, Junior, Forward, Stratford.
Lexi Kuhn, Junior, Guard, Stratford.
Michaela Carr, Senior, Guard, Summerdale.
Paris Logan, Senior, Forward, Summerdale.
Amber Wilsey, Senior, Guard, Stratford.
Molly Hofbaker, Freshman, Guard, Laurel Springs.
Macy Fox, Senior, Guard, Laurel Springs.
Jordan Frazier, Junior, Forward, Minual.
Aaliyah Smith, Junior, Forward, Magnolia.
So we're going to take a look at the starters for both sides here. We see Gateway starters, Lexi Kerwin, the sophomore, then a few freshmen here with Layla DeMays, Soraya Gary, and Peyton Cutlet, and then the lone junior, Sydney Hughes, not a single senior on this starting side for Gateway. And then the Sterling starters, we got number 3, Paris Logan, and number 11, Amber Wilsey, number 15, Lexi Kuhn, number 2, Molly Hofbaker is in, and number 23, Jordan Frazier. So So welcome in. I'm Max Zubak, joined by Danny Leak, and today the roles are reversed. I'll be doing the play-by-play. He'll be on the color. Danny, how you feeling?
I feel great about this game today, Max. And I mean, Sterling has been on a 3-game losing streak, so they're falling a little bit behind here in the standings, but still haven't, lost that scoring spark that they have between, Lexi Kuhn with the 11 points per game and the 6 rebounds, and Paris Logan, who averages a double-double with 10 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. They're still in a very, very solid spot as we're closing in on the end of the season here.
It's definitely true. As we take a look at the coaches here, see Gateway's head coach on the left, Dan McGowan, in his 8th season, and then the infamous Coach Kate McDonald for the Lady Knights recently reached a huge milestone with her 300th win. She's been having a pretty solid season. I'm pretty sure that win was the team's last. They've been on a bit of a streak. They haven't been doing so hot. They plan to bounce back here tonight against Gateway.
And they definitely have that opportunity. I mean, Gateway, a little bit of a weaker team, as you mentioned, 7-11, and they play in a little bit of a weaker division. But Sterling, definitely more of a firepower type team. They do a lot from beyond the arc. Paris Logan does the majority of scoring on the inside, and that is someone that they're really going to have to lean on here, as Gateway does have a little bit of the height advantage, but Sterling's still lethal when you get into those spots.
And of course, that constant defensive game that we already see, that game plan with the 2-3 zone at all times. They can try to make that flow really get going, because without it, obviously we've seen in the past sometimes the shooting goes against it. They really define that balance on both sides of the ball, be able to utilize the zone and then be able to get in and score off of it. I think if they can find that, they can get back on track and get a win over the Gateway Gators.
And I mean, Max, to stretch it more and more and more, it's the turnovers that really kill the Lady Knights sometimes. So they're really going to have to be careful and just making sure they protect the ball well and not make any, mistakes that are really going to bite them in the butt as the game goes on. As there's Paris Logan in her senior year, 10 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, averages about a block and a half, and shoots 32% from the field. Someone who's just been phenomenal in her senior year here, Max.
She's one of many players that's made quite a huge impact throughout this season. Another one being Lexi Kuhn, the junior. She's been pretty good whenever she heats up beyond the arc. There's been Maddie Sims has taken a bit of a commanding role, not only in this sport, but also in the net and soccer. So there's been a lot of good players, a lot of key factors going into this one. You see both teams kind of getting themselves prepared. Even though it feels that it won't be that even, it is kind of on the more even-sided playing field, as we see, where Gateway is. Sterling's been kind of bringing themselves down to that. They got to find a way to get that rebound, and especially by getting those rebounds, which has been a bit of an issue. So we're going to see how they can address these problems and try to get a win as this one starts up.
This is the first game of 2 today here on Sterling Channel 19. We'll be covering the boys' senior night later on, as they will take on the Collingswood Panthers starting at 7 o'clock.
And we're off with Gateway starting and already some whistles. See, possession will be with Gateway to start this one off. A little bit of early confusion. Oh, and there will be Sterling starting it off. I guess it was a bit of a infringement of the rules going in on the tip-off. Something we haven't seen before. But nonetheless, Sterling will start with the ball instead.
Sterling's going to have to look to get off to an early start here, not fall behind, as there's an early mistake there from the Lady Knights.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the main issues, is making sure they don't turn over the ball, which leads to 2 there. Number 5, that's Sarai Gary, one of the top scorers, and now Maddie Sims will have to try and bring something up and call the plays here, call the shots that she tends to do.
And that was just a simple, one lady play right there, as Sarai Gary really just got the turnover there. As we take a look at the replays, just stripped it away from Amber Wilsey, and with a little bit of pressure on the backside by Sims and interface by Wilsey, makes the really nice layup. But now on the other end, Paris Logan will go shoot for 2.
We see a lot of shots from Paris Logan. She's 72% from the free throw on this year. She's been pretty reliable at the charity stripe, but she's with a little in and out-ish. There goes off the rim.
And just one of the players we kept harping on here in the pregame, Paris Logan, just so phenomenal in her game this year. Just took it to a whole nother level. And Max last year, very good defensively, but offensively is where she kind of lacked. And this year definitely has brought that to a whole nother level.
Yeah, she hasn't lost the defensive prowess at all, but she's added a lot more offense into her game, right where she excels, right underneath the rim. And you'd expect to see a lot more of that. As here we go with the 2-3 zone offense once again. They're finding a lot of nice passes, but really good stop. They couldn't get much going, but they get their own rebound. Passes it out beyond the arc. Gray. Sit back in, they lose it, but Gray gets it once again. Can't quite get there. Sims with the rebound.
Just great defense there by the Lady Knights to realize the underneath pass there to Cutler and make the nice read, and looking to get some offense.
And there's Paris Logan yet again. This time gives him the lead. She's got 3 points early on in the first minute of this game here.
It's just a great start for Paris Logan, continuing her in-paint dominance, and that's going to be one big problem for the Gateway Gators as they just turn over the ball there on the offensive side.
This tends to be the side of turnovers you don't see Sterling on as they keep taking them away, and then get another 2 points. This time it's Amber Wilsey.
A lot more coordinated there on the fast break by the Lady Knights straight off the turnover. And again, Max, that's not something we say a lot. Sterling scoring off the turnovers. A lot of the time they make the mistakes, but that's a nice 2 points there by the Lady Knights.
It's a good change of pace if you're Coach McDonald seeing your players get that done. But now you got to make sure the defensive side stays as strong as they have early on. They find a pass right back to Gray. End of the corner gets tipped by Paris Logan. Yet another rebound by Maddie Sims.
It looks like she double dribbled there with the balls. We're going to take a look at the replay. On the fast break, Amber Wilsey puts up a shot there right off the backboard, banks it in, and gives Sterling this 3-point lead. And then Paris Logan in the corner with the block, solidifying that, making sure Gateway can't score.
This time around in the corner, it looked like Gray had a shot, passes it in instead. Doesn't go, but there's a fight for the ball. Lexi Kuhn gets the rebound in the end. And they'll have Sims dribbled up once again. This time passes it to Kuhn. Has to settle the ball. Takes a long shot. Can't quite go. Still fighting for a rebound, and Gray gets it. Ooh. But there goes Frazier going for it. Now a dive. And Gateway will maintain possession after that little bit of a scuffle there.
Well, we know Kuhn, she likes firing the ball from long range, and that one was definitely a deep one. And honestly almost went in. So not a bad shot there from Lexi Kuhn. Would have liked to see something develop a little bit more underneath, but nevertheless, not a bad shot selection at all.
She saw a good amount of space and tried to take it, just didn't quite go her way. Gateway tries to capitalize off of it, can't, and another rebound from Maddie Sims. This time saved, but Sims just grabs it once again. And another check.
And I think the Gators are doing a really good job of applying pressure to, the Lady Knights taking it up the court, as there's a Coach McDonald there on the sideline. Again, just eclipsed her 300th win.
And you see the bring up from Lexi Kuhn. The screen from Wilsey gives her a little bit of space. And then Frazier, not enough communication there. As the ball will stay with Sterling, but still a little bit of a mishap there. Sims looks for a pass, goes across to Frazier, passes it into Paris Logan. Should be another couple of shots here.
So Logan definitely a little bit shorter than Cutler is. Peyton Cutler standing at an astounding 5'11", and obviously we can see Paris Logan just a few inches shorter than her, but Paris Logan almost works like a ball underneath, really, really strong, and that's something that a lot of teams have not been able to keep up with as the season has gone on.
That strength and then the kind of inward mentality to be able to draw those types of fouls in, which she's been able to do throughout the year, but now she has to take the height advantage that UC Cutler has and turn it against her, get her these shot opportunities. She missed her first, looks to make her second. Is now 1 for 4, 25% on the night, and Gateway get the rebound. It's Gray once again. Passes it into Cutler. Loses the ball. Sims, but there's a bit of a jump ball there.
And this ball movement by the Gators hasn't been bad at all. I think they just start needing to take a couple of shots that they're given a lot of these times. I mean, the Sterling defense, as tight as it is, sometimes it does sag a little bit. So Gateway's just going to have to take opportunity of, the space that they're given a little bit as we've seen the Lady Knights do so far.
Yeah, I think the Lady Knights have taken a lot more opportunities than Gateway have, and it has kind of given Gateway, this need to make something here, but they haven't taken many shots. They've had a few open ones. They haven't tried anything. Sims, part of the court. Cutler, you can say it's a bit of a shove there. And the ball will stay with Sterling.
And Peyton Cutler early on in this matchup here has 3 fouls already in this matchup between Gateway and Sterling, and we're just a little bit over halfway through quarter number 1.
I mean, it's definitely something you don't want to see. You don't have to sub off, your tallest force out there, especially against someone who's as physical as Paris Logan. Take this time on the bench to take a bit of a breather. That's what I'd be doing. That's what I'd be instructing as the coaches. Get the inbound pass. Paris Logan tries to fight, doesn't get it. Frazier gets the rebound, doesn't go. It's hit again. But this time, it'll be Gateway's ball. They'll have DeMays bring it up. Mason passes it out and back. And then Gray, who has a three, can't quite go. They get their rebound, then the pass right to Wilsey, and Sterling turns it around and make a drive happen here. Some tight defense trying to force Wilsey out of bounds. He's forced to make a pass to Frazier. Frazier passes back to Sims, and the play tries to reset. Passes it back into Paris Logan. So blows, and will be a travel on Paris Logan there.
And Maggie Eliasson, number 15 of 4, that was just subbed in for the Gateway Gators, is now going to be matched up against Paris Logan, probably for the majority of this matchup. It's going to be interesting to see how that low post works out here for the Gateway Gators.
Those two are going to have an interesting matchup just because the size dynamic we were just talking about has definitely shifted. Just with that foul issue, they have to, kind of make their starting five adapt around. They're forced to reset, and they pass back in. Takes a bit of a gap. Oh, and it's in. The triple to tie it up at 5. That's
someone who was not in the starting lineup for the Gateway Gators, Bella Feeney, averaging 14.4 points per game, and automatically makes her impact felt here on the court.
Someone so automatic, I'm surprised she isn't in the starting lineup, but unless the lineup is how it is. As we see here, the pass from Hughes, and then over to Feeney, all the way on the other side at the top of the key, and bang, right on in to tie it up at 5. It's a little over 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. So take a look at yet another look here.
And Bella Feeney Feeney, she finished that one, and it was good coverage there by the Knights. Got a hand up in her face, but she immediately capitalized there. That's exactly what you want to see from your sharpest shooter coming straight off the bench.
Yeah, for Sterling, you want to see a little bit different there as contact is made, and Sterling will still have possession. Wilsey's on the, almost said throw-in, whoa. Nonetheless, gets it to Paris Logan, who tries to fight for something. Frazier puts up a rebounded shot, gives another 2-point lead here for Sterling.
And Frazier, someone who's really found her groove here in her junior year. 3 points per game, but 4 rebounds and a steal per game. It shoots 32% from the field. Doesn't take a lot of bad shots for the Lady Knights. And honestly, a very, very solid defender. And I guess you could say the big for this Lady Knights squad.
Yeah, at least within what they have right now, she is definitely, someone who you could see playing both forward and center. I kind of see her play a bit of an Anthony Davis type of role for this team where you can play both. It depends on, how she's feeling on the day. But 3 taken, 3 doesn't go. But rebound grabbed, and now we've got pass out to Hughes. Hughes passes it over to Feeney. Can't quite go. It's still in Gateway's possession. Doesn't go yet again. We going the other way.
And Gateway staying very persistent there on the boards, kept that offensive drive alive, and looks like Lexi Kuhn couldn't come up with any of those boards, and Gateway almost got an opportunity to tie this one up, but luckily Sterling comes out alive, keeping this 2-point lead.
Gateway was using a lot of those opportunities to try and get those rebounds, but they couldn't make much of it after getting the rebound, which is what we've seen throughout a good amount of this game. Now Sterling's got possession. They've been able to score off the rebound a couple of times. Lexi Kuhn at the top of the key. They're going to call some contact there. And Sterling will keep the ball.
And Layla DeMays there was a little bit mismatched on Lexi Kuhn. DeMays stands at a 5'2" height, and obviously Lexi Kuhn we know is a little bit bigger, probably around the 5'10" mark, and just someone that you always have to be careful with. But that mismatch by the Gators might put them in some trouble, as there it is once again.
See there, not much happened, but Frazier with another rebound. They're going to call a jump ball there.
And the Gateway Gators, pure hustle so far in this game, and Sterling's having a little bit of a tough time trying to keep up with them as this game has gone on.
Yeah, the hustle's definitely been a part of it, but also just being able to attack when they don't have the ball, both on offense and defense, and they're trying to get offensive rebounds. When they're trying to get defensive rebounds, they've been very aggressive, and Sterling hasn't been able to adapt just yet. We see here a steal from Amber Wilsey, passes it out to Lexi Kuhn, and they advance up the court again. Frazier can't quite grab it on the jump attempt. Gets it back to Maddie Sims, who takes a 3. Can't quite go. And now Gateway taking it back the other way. It's number 12, Hughes. Hughes passes it back. She's got Gary on the corner.
And that one was almost poked away there by Amber Wilsey, who averages 2 steals a game, which is the most on the Lady Knights.
Steal machine when you need her to be. We've already seen before in this game. A lot of good passing from Gateway. Another 3 attempt, and that one will go. Gives Gateway their first lead of the night.
Sydney Hughes just grabbing it and pulling it, and that's something that Gateway really needs to do. Just these catch-and-shoot things is really what stuns this 2-3 zone defense.
There's a travel by Frazier, and let's take a look at this one more time. We see a lot of good passing going on. Hughes calls for it, has no one on her, able to find a way to expose the zone defense towards the final moments of the first quarter. Take a look yet again.
And again, just the catch and shoot is really what's going to be key as this game goes on here for the Gateway Gators. Just to be aware of that space that they're giving you as that pass just a little bit overboard and making sure they make the right moves with it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of intelligent passing, and it has not been a lot of taking shots that you get from it. That time they do take it, and they take a lead with it. Really good play overall. Now Wilsey, covered by Gray. Bit too much contact there. He'll stay with Sterling. A little too physical before they can cross half court. Now, Danny, we have seen a lot of foul trouble from both sides. As we see, they are in the bonus Gateway. So if you're going into the second quarter, you got to really be harping in on that, even going in after that into halftime. Just how do you get it into your girl's head? Don't play super risky. You can play aggressive without committing all these fouls.
Well, what we talked about a few moments ago there, Max, I mean, Gateway Gators are just a very hustle-pure team. And it's kind of hard to take the hustle out of the girl a lot of that times. And they really get into these games, and it's going to be tough for Sterling to try and play against it. But really, their best bet is trying to get to these fouls and get to the foul line and just make the free throws that we all know they're quite good at. Because as one announcer here on Sterling Channel 19, Connor Warrington, once said, free throws is how you make a team very good or very bad, and that's something that's going to make or break your basketball team. So the Lady Knights are some girls who are really good at it, and they're just going to have to keep persistent from the charity stripe as they play against this, foul trouble-ish Gators team.
Yeah, Wilsey with almost another steal, and they can't quite put it up in time. So we're all tied up at 8 here after 1. Going into the second as we take a look at Skyline and the school. Going into the second quarter, we'll let the cheerleaders take over here and the castle. And we'll be back after a short break.
I'm so tired of entering all this discipline. I just wish there was something I could do.
We've got illegal use of the phone. Report to VPO. Just sign in the Minga. No. No use of the Minga pass. Going back to classroom. Late for class. Violation. Illegal wearing of the hoodie, gray hoodie, that's a violation. Falling asleep in class, that's a violation. How many times am I going to have to tell this to you?
Clearly more than that, old geezer.
Personal foul, speaking mean to a teacher, that's a violation.
We are back for some quarter 2 action between the Gateway Gators and the Sterling Lady Knights. It's all tied up at 8 after 1 quarter. There's been a little bit of foul trouble on the Gators side of things, and the Lady Knights have been taking a bit of advantage as they got into the bonus after the first quarter. Let's see what they can do with these more foul troubles from Gateway. I've been censored.
And I mean, Sterling has done a great job of just working their offense here as this one goes down to Logan. And again, draws the foul. Yeah. And that's something that Sterling has just done such a good job of doing, as the Gateway Gators is getting a little bit too handsy with the Lady Knights. And Gateway's definitely going to have to be careful. There's an early foul 13 seconds into this second quarter.
I mean, this is the 3rd time already Paris Logan's been sent to the line, someone who's pretty solid at the line. I feel like there's been a lot of instances where it's also been avoidable. They could have been a little safer in their choices to go for certain rebounds. And that is the 4th missed free throw as far for Paris Logan. She hasn't been on her game at the charity stripe exactly throughout the first quarter. As you can see throughout the season, she's 72% field goal percentage, or free throw percentage, excuse me. I feel like it's someone that you'd expect to see do that a little more often as she makes it, gives the Sterling Lady Knights a 1-point lead.
I mean, she has 4 points on the night, 2 of those points coming from free throws, and it's just Paris Logan's going to have to find her groove. And I think once she finds that, she's really going to start feeling it. We saw that in the last game that we covered here at the Castle. Once she gets into that flow state, she's elite.
A lot of these Lady Knights have a pretty specific flow state that once they find it, it's pretty smooth sailing for them. As we see a nice bank shot to retake the lead for Gateway. That one by DeMays.
And just DeMays put herself in a position to succeed there, finds herself in the mid-range, puts up a mid-range jumper, banks it off the backboard, and just beautiful execution there by the Gateway Gators.
Hoffaker with a lot of room, finds a nice pass underneath the whole defense to get it to Lexi Kuhn, who retakes the lead now.
And Lexi Kuhn, someone we don't see cut in the inside very much. We see her from beyond the arc, and Molly Hoffaker, the freshman, just puts a perfect pass there on the ground and falls right into the hands of Kuhn, and couldn't have drawn that one up any better.
Hoffaker's been very good throughout this year. Instead of taking shots that she doesn't have to, finding open people that get them guaranteed 2 points. So we see a nice takeaway from Sims there, and Hoffaker tries to save it, but it goes just out. Take a look once again. See Hoffaker could take an open 3, instead finds a pass through everybody.
And again, this mismatch between DeMays and Kuhn kind of showing its spark right there, as DeMays was matched up there against Kuhn, standing at, again, a staggering 5'2", and Kuhn, with the clear height advantage, kind of put the hand up. Hoffaker identified and just made the perfect pass for the bucket.
Let's see how this can go, as we've got DeMays going over to Feeney for another 3, and it'll go.
And Feeney on fire from beyond the arc so far, 6 points on the night. Sterling's got to be careful.
And there's a second turnover for the Sterling Lady Knights. Now that they're down as well, they've got to really be more cautious of that, especially because this game's been so back and forth to start the second quarter.
And what we've seen so far this season by the Lady Knights is something that really kills them is great outside shooting. And if the Gateway Gators keep this one up, they're going to really start to pull away here from the Lady Knights.
It's very true. Is another shot taken from beyond the arc, can't quite go. Feeney goes for a rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Sims. You see Sims now trying to find a little bit of space. Can't quite pass it to Kuhn, passes it across to Hoffaker. Hoffaker passes it back into Kuhn yet again, but this time the lay won't go.
And now Feeney on Kuhn that time, and I think it worked out a lot better there from the Gateway Gators, matched up pretty similarly with Kuhn, and Kuhn couldn't finish that bucket.
So those necessary adjustments they're making to try and get the defense on a little bit of a better flow. As we see here, pass back out to Feeney, but it's stopped by Hoffaker. Take a look once again. See DeMays.
And just great ball movement here by the Gateway Gators, and DeMays just with a perfect assist there to Feeney, and that's something that's going to, kill Sterling if the ball movement and the three-point shooting is on point, and there's a foul called there on Eliasson.
Looks like it'll be a blocking foul. You see Feeney trying to get around, and Hoffaker just gets, it's a bit of an illegal screen, then tries to sell it, charging, but can't quite get it. So the inbound pass from Hoffaker to Sims, who will bring it up once again. Sims scans the court, tries to take it herself, loses possession. Gateway try to go for it, but they step out of bounds and still be Sterling's ball.
I'd say a bit uncoordinated play here from both teams here in the second quarter, and both teams are going to kind of have to get it under wraps as this one goes on, because a lot of turnovers caused by both sides in quarter number 2.
Definitely felt a bit uncoordinated. It's a nice pass for Kuhn to make it 13 across the board as we reach 5 minutes in the second quarter remaining.
4 points, and all of them coming from inside the paint there for Lexi Kuhn, using her size to her advantage here with Peyton Cutler still sitting on the bench.
Definitely a good advantage taken with Peyton Cutler, someone who's practically a 6-footer out there. It's going to be hard when your defense doesn't have that. Gateway managing to stay inbounds with the ball. Hoffaker playing some tough defense on Hughes. Hughes passes it over to DeMays. DeMays back to Feeney. Feeney can't quite find much, passes it back out. He passes it across all the way over to DeMays. Can't quite get there. And fighting for it, they're going to call. Take a look at what had happened prior in the last score for the Lady Knights.
Just a beautiful inbound pass there. Finds the hands of Lexi Kuhn and just puts it up and in off the backboard. And Sterling showing a lot of great hustle, in this second quarter, trying to match up here with the Gateway Gators. But Gateway still in a little bit of foul trouble here, just about halfway through quarter number 2 with 3.
Yeah, it's definitely been the main issue in both quarters for Gateway. There's a little too much on the fouls, giving too many opportunities to Sterling, as we see the buzzer goes, and there's going to be discussion between.
I think it was the
ref and
book.
Table. The book might have just touched the buzzer on accident there.
No, I think there might be a problem with the book. And you can follow us on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19. We'll have live updates of all the games and, of course, all the fun and exciting things that happen here around the castle. So make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19.
I'm flapping my little hands like the Twitter expert.
Pretty exciting week at the castle here, Max. And between, the Thursday game against Haddon Heights, tonight's game against the Collingswood Panthers, and this Sunday as the Philadelphia Eagles go to the Super Bowl, we got a lot of fun sports happening here around South Jersey.
Also got a lot of fun age changes as I turned 17
really?
On Saturday.
Hey! What would be a better present than a Super Bowl win? As looks like Sterling's going to be awarded 2 technical free throws here off of maybe a mismanaged book.
First is taken, and Kuhn doesn't quite get there. But they have another opportunity. Lexi Kuhn, 76% for free throws. And that one will go.
And the Gateway Gators, 8 total fouls in this matchup between the 2 quarters. And it looks like Sterling will maintain possession here after the made free throw there by Lexi Kuhn. And good to get back to action here on the court.
We see Sims launch it down to Paris Logan, who's got a pretty free net, but the points don't go. And Kuhn tries to get it with the rebound and can't quite go. And this time Gateway going to play it through.
And a beautiful drawn-up play there by the Lady Knights. It looks like Paris Logan just got right behind the defense, and a beautiful pass there by QB22, and just could not get it. Was Paris Logan.
The points just couldn't quite get scored. And Lexi Kuhn couldn't quite do much off the offensive rebound. She got it ripped away from her. And now Gateway yet again with possession. Pass around. Once again, Feeney passes it back. Kerwin. Kerwin to DeMays. Back to Kerwin. Kerwin takes a shot, contested, doesn't go anywhere. Paris Logan saves the ball, trying to pass it out, gets it to Wilsey, and Sterling's back on the attack. Doesn't have much. Tries to drive through, can't quite get it. Paris Logan wants to fight for the ball. Can't quite get it. I'm going to call travel.
And again, great defense on Sterling's side of the ball there. A little bit of a block there from Amber Wilsey. And on the other hand, it turned into a turnover by the Lady Knights, and they went the other way. Just once again couldn't finish, and I think that's kind of been a big problem for them throughout this game thus far.
Yeah, both sides have had a little bit too much on the trouble of things. Obviously, Gateway's turned the ball over a little more, but it doesn't mean Sterling's hands are clean in that side of the game. So now Gateway gives that one up, and it'll be back in Sterling's possession.
Looks like a timeout being called here by the Lady Knights. Coach McDonald not liking what she's seeing out there right now. Looks like a little bit too out of her hands. And you can follow us on Facebook at Sterling Channel 19, where we have all the updates you guys need to know about our channel, all the stuff you guys need to know about our school, and just the relative stuff you guys need to know happening around the town. Make sure you guys go follow us on Facebook at Sterling Channel 19.
Take a look at the crowd for this first game of the night here. It's pretty sizable. We don't see, obviously, especially when there's here's our mascot for the day.
Yeah, we got a
Valentine's teddy bear.
Valentino. Oh, man, what a name. Valentino the Bear getting in theme for Valentine's Day, which is just around the corner.
I like that guy.
But, there's a couple other things that we got to get to before Valentine's Day. It's tonight's TV game, Collingswood versus Sterling. It'll be the boys' senior night. This Thursday, the boys going against Haddon Heights here at the Castle. And then, obviously, Max's birthday on Saturday. Yeah. And then this Sunday, we got a big game for the Eagles. As there's a couple of our Sterling Knights. Max Bleem to your left with the state championship hoodie on. And then Travis Schmidt, who we will see in that boys' game tonight with the Brotherhood shirt on. And then to your far right, it's Lady Knights soccer player Cami Rivadis. And there's Travis's aunt, Coach McDonald, coaching this Sterling team. Called a timeout, not liking what she's seeing, looking to get stuff going. And there is Dan McGowan on your screen right now.
Well, Sterling will try to get it going as Hoffaker tries to go for a pass to Lexi Kuhn. Almost gets stolen by Feeney, but can't quite get there. And Sterling will keep the ball as Hoffaker will be on the inbound. Finds Wilsey at the top of the key, goes into Maddie Sims. Maddie Sims is going to hold the ball for a little bit. Try to find an opening, can't quite find anything, tries to take it herself. Playing against Kerwin. Kerwin pokes it out. It'll stay with Sterling.
And just sloppy right now by the Lady Knights, to put it kindly. The Lady Knights are not taking good enough care of the ball right now. They kind of keep getting it poked away. Luckily, it stays in their possession a lot of these times, but too much of this is going to cause into a turnover for Gateway.
Won't only cause a turnover, it'll also cause just not good enough ball movement, not enough flow in the offense to keep any lead that you have, which currently is only 1 point. As we see now, another opportunity for Gateway to retake the lead. Feeney gets it into Hughes. Hughes passes it, but can't quite get there. Hoffaker with the steal. Baker passes it into Wilsey, but gets contested yet again. Another instance of them being a little sloppy with possession. Now Gateway brings up the ball. See, they've got Hughes open on the corner, and they'll take it. Hughes will pass it back to DeMays, who gets it back to Kerwin. Kerwin passes it all the way over, back to Hughes. And then back to DeMays. Over to Feeney. Takes another three. Can't quite go that time. Lexi-Kun gets the rebound. Fighting for the ball is Hughes. Lexi-Kun needs to find a way to bring it up. Passes it out to Maddie Sims. Passes it all the way over to Hoffaker. Hoffaker takes a three. Kind of rolls off. Paris Logan goes for a rebound. Can't quite get it. Back to Gateway. It's Hughes over to Feeney, who has to save it, but it doesn't go much of anywhere. Once again, be Sterling's ball.
And it looks like Jordan Frazier is going to check into the game here for Molly Hoffaker. Molly Hoffaker was trying to run the point a few times here from the Lady Knights. The freshman just really couldn't get anything going on the offensive side. And it looks like Sterling's going to switch up the strategy here and kind of run a dual point system here between Maddie Sims and Lexi-Kun.
You got 90 seconds before half. Might as well try and get as many points as you can. You're going to put some of your top reliable scorers, and you're going to put Frazier as one of your better rebounders in. You're going to try and maximize the amount of stuff you can do. As we see Frazier now at the top of the key, tries to find someone, goes to Wilsey, gets out to Paris Logan on the outside. Can't find anything, back to Frazier. Frazier passes it back to Sims. They reset the play. People are trying to find themselves open, they can't. Back to Frazier. Frazier trying to find a pass in, can't. Gets it out to Paris Logan, who gets it back to Wilsey. It's 50 seconds remaining in the half. Wilsey gets it over to Frazier once again, now back to Wilsey. Good defensive contest by DeMays, but Wilsey keeps the ball.
And just great defense here by the Gateway Gators.
Great shutdown defense that leads to yet another turnover for the Lady Knights, as now DeMays will take it up.
And the Gateway Gators sticking on them like glue here so far. They really got to get stuff going here on the offensive side of the ball.
The defense has been really attacking, kind of a savage defense that's really staying on, but the offense hasn't done much in the last few minutes. They're trying to get something going here as they pass it out for three. The corner three won't go. Maddie Sims gets the rebound. They try and have something happen in these last 10 seconds, but not much is open for her. Shoves off, desperation shot at the end. Can't quite go. Going into halftime, the score will be 14. The Lady Knights at 13. The Gateway Gators, as you see Donald's hamburger there. Going in, so we'll be back after this halftime break, going into the second half.
Yo, what's up? How the you doing? Oh, good, I guess. What have you been up to?
Oh, this, that, everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, it's nice seeing you. I'm gonna get going there. All right. Out of here. I'll see you.
Hey.
Hey, Ronnie.
Is that Brody over there? How's he doing?
I don't even know.
It might even be my life.
Speak up, save a life, prevent suicide.
What made you become a bully?
Twerk! Twerk!
Whoa, nice one, man. You should start hanging with me.
Okay.
Yo, Danny, look at this. Go show him who's boss.
Hey.
Huh?
Danny, go to VPO.
No!
Well, you know, Mr. Jericho, I guess it started with peer pressure.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and said that's all I'll ever be. Told me I'd never amount to anything. Or help anyone. But I didn't listen. I found my way. And now, I'm what I always wanted to be.
I'm out of beer!
Well, we need to go get some more.
It's still dry. Yeah, let's go!
Dude, take the seatbelts off. What are we doing? Yeah, you're right.
I'm ready to drive. Yeah!
Don't drink and drive.
Hey, stop that, bully!
Are you begging for a knuckle sandwich, twerp?
Maybe I am.
Nice try, twerp.
Please, hamburger, please help me. He's bullying me. You're right. I need to help you. I'm the anti-bully. Logan. Oh my God, thank you. Oh yes, King.
And we are back with some more action for basketball. As we take a look at the leading scorers on both sides of things, we see Lexi Kuhn with 5 for the Lady Knights, then followed by Paris Logan with 4 and Jordan Frazier with 2. And then we see on the other side, far and ahead, we got Bella Feeney with 6. Then we've got Hughes with 3 of her own, and then we've got Gary with 2. So it's been pretty even. Now we've got Feeney, who's been very good throughout, many games. Take a look at her highlights here. I mean, she has just been incredible from beyond the arc.
And Feeney just super on fire so far in this one. Someone who came straight off the bench, averages 14 points per game, and the senior just lighting it up from beyond the arc. Had a terrific first half in a rather low-scoring game, and something that Gateway really needed to get that spark going.
She must have some AJ Lee inspiration. She just keeps lighting it up. And we see and look at Sterling's plays from this past half as we see Molly Hoffaker observes the court, finds Lexi Kuhn down the middle. Nice 2 points. And she's been pretty dominant throughout that first half.
And something a little rare from the Sterling Lady Knights. They did the majority of their scoring inside the paint, whether it was Lexi Kuhn taking, the balls there for Molly Hoffaker, or, someone else just rotating inside, making sure they get the good cut and the bounce and the score. And it's been really efficient for the first half for the Lady Knights, but they have had their fair share of struggles in terms of turnovers and fouls and such.
Yeah, both sides have been turning over the ball, and our side of the desk has been very good. I'm Max Zubak, joined by Daniel Leakin, having ourselves a bit of a diversity. As we see here later tonight at 7 p.m., Collingswood comes to the Castle and plays Sterling for the boys basketball senior night. Going to be a really exciting one. You'll be back doing your play-by-play. I'll be back on the analysis. We'll be doing a bit of a flip-flop once again.
It'll be a really fun one in terms of senior night, because the boys have a lot of good senior personalities, whether it's Quentin Rosano or Casey Kozaneski off the bench, just 2 guys who are hilarious people outside and also brings their personality to the court. And it's going to be quite a fun time as they take on the Collingswood Panthers, and a game where the Sterling Knights really just need a win, a big bounce-back win. They've kind of been a little rocky as of late, took a really rough loss to the Haddonfield Bulldogs last Thursday, and they're really going to have to bounce back. And there's Amber Wilsey, who was just in that recycling commercial that you guys just watched there at halftime. She was the little girl doing all the bottle flips.
She was accurate in her recycling. She's accurate on the court with her shots. I mean, it's definitely transferred.
Yeah.
Now Gateway will start the second half with the ball. Try to bring it up as the court's flipped. You see DeMays trying to find someone. She will. Feeney tries to find some open space. Loses the ball. Paris Logan can't quite get there in time. Gary passes it back in. Shot won't go, but they get their own rebound, then it goes out of bounds. It'll be Sterling possession once again.
And great defense there by the Lady Knights, as we saw Maddie Sims on the inside covering Feeney, making sure they're sealing off the passing lanes there by the Gateway Gators, and just really well done there by the Lady Knights to start off the second half to come in and give some big impactful defense.
That was my bad. As we see Gary there, it is going to be Gateway possession once again. It's my bad. It'll be a jump ball. Now it'll be Sterling possession. Looked that way from my view. That one's on me. You see Lexi Kuhn on the inbound pass. Gets it to Sims, who will bring it up for the first time for Sterling in this second half. Sims goes back to Lexi Kuhn. Kuhn observing the court, finds Frazier. Frazier back to Sims. Sims finds Logan at the top of the key, finds Frazier once again. Frazier back into Sims. Sims contested, has to get it out to a good shooter, and Kuhn down the corner and makes that one. Makes it from a 1-point lead to a 4-point lead. Drains the 3.
Hand in the face does not matter there from Lexi Kuhn. Well-designed play. The cut in there from Maddie Sims, and then she finds Lexi Kuhn, who is rather covered, but still knocks down the shot either way. And a great start by the Lady Knights here in half numero dos.
I think that's only the second shot from beyond the arc for Lexi Kuhn throughout tonight. Missed her first, made her second. She's mainly been scoring in the paint, but that doesn't mean she can't do it from beyond the arc still. Now we see Maddie Sims with the ball once more. Gets it back to Wilsey. Wilsey gets it to Paris Logan. Paris Logan trying to get around Peyton Cutler. He's back in this one. Finds Frazier. Back to Wilsey. Gary with some nice up-close defense. Doesn't stop Wilsey from getting it back to Kuhn. Gets it to Frazier. Gets it back to Wilsey. Almost stolen from. They have a jump ball there.
And a really good job by these Lady Knights, kind of developing that chemistry throughout this game. Kind of looked like they started off on the wrong rhythm as we take a look at it here. Maddie Sims cutting inside, finds Lexi Kuhn. Nothing but nylon there from beyond the arc, and just a great start here in terms of the passing from the Lady Knights.
The passing flow definitely feels a lot better from first half to second as we see Gary trying to go for something. Paris Logan makes a little too much contact Take a look at it one more time here. The defense, while tight, is just a little too aggressive.
Whoopsies. And Paris Logan looked like she did do a good contest on that one. Just looks like it got a little bit too much contact there on Gary. And now she'll be sent to the line to shoot two here. A great free throw shooter with a 75% shot from the charity stripe.
She makes her first. We've seen not the best luck from both sides, not only just committing fouls, but also then taking advantage from the line. We've only seen a few made for the Sterling side. Now obviously the first for Gateway made here, as well as the second. Narrows the lead down to 2. But Sterling slowly getting into a rhythm, trying to see if maybe they can make something happen to continue to expand the gap, regardless of how the points get for Gateway in return. Now we see Wilsey covered well by Gary. Finds Sims. Sims covered by DeMays. Trying to use some strength, can. Stolen by Gateway. And now Feeney on a bit of a drive has to beat up Frazier and one.
Just a phenomenal play there by Feeney. I mean, doing it basically all by herself there. Gets the steal, gets the ball, takes it up the court, and contact there by Frazier gives her the and one, and Feeney's just trying to try and complete the classic three-point play.
Feeney's a hustle player that can get it done everywhere. She makes her play from a 2-point to the 3-point play and gets Gateway the lead back, now up by 1 point. She is just all around the court, hustle, offense, defense, makes everything from beyond the arc and in the paint. Overall, real good. But we're back with Sterling possession, and Lexi Kuhn gets it out to Maddie Sims. Maddie trying to do a little bit of communication, hands it off to Frazier. Then back to Sims, then over to Paris Logan. Paris can't quite find anything. She tries to take it for herself, but Feeney gets a hand on it, stays in Sterling's possession.
An all-around great player here all-around great game here from Feeney. I mean, 9 points on the ground, doing it all on the defensive side, and has been a difference maker here for the Gateway Gators.
She tends to be a difference maker, one of the top scorers, I think the top scorer on the season for this Gateway team, as we see Paris Logan go for a shot, can't quite get it, but there will be some contact as we take a look here. The inbound pass that led to it.
And I mean, Paris Logan is someone so hard to cover, and I think that one is on Cutler, who has her 4th foul of the night. All 4 of those have been against Paris Logan, who has given her a little bit of trouble despite the height difference. My goodness, I did not know where I was going there. And Logan needs to cash in on these 2 free throws here as she gets her first, knotting this one up at 18.
Well, I think the reason the matchup between Paris Logan and Peyton Cutler has been so physical is because they are 2 very physical players. One just because they have the height, and one because Paris Logan's always fighting for the points in the paint. So it was meant to be a little more physical, but the fouls have not been in both sides. It's been very one-sided, as we see. The second free throw doesn't go, and the ball goes out of bounds.
But a great hustle play there by Jordan Frazier, who looked like she threw it off of one of the Gateway players and got the offensive rebound after that second free throw, as the Lady Knights were starting to kind of retreat back on defense.
Once again, the ball is gone, but it go to Gateway this time around, all tied up at 18. While the hustle has been there, they haven't been able to really maintain possession throughout, which has transferred from the first half into the second for these Lady Knights. And we see another drive here. Gateway gets to Gary. Tries to find someone, can't get it to DeMays in the corner. Instead opts for Hughes. The 3 taken off the rim. Sims with the rebound, gets it out to Lexi Kuhn. And a drive for Sterling once again. Sterling gets it over. And Sims over to Frazier. Back to Wilsey, but they can't quite hold on to the ball. And once again, it's DeMays. DeMays finds a pass, and Gary goes for 2. Oh, can't quite make it. Sims has the rebound, trying to fight off people. A little too much contact there as we take a look at the play.
And I mean, Sims doing a good job on that rebound there, trying to just fight off the Gateway Gators. And Gateway, despite the score being tied, feels like they've controlled a lot of this game so far. Sterling has kind of looked a little discombobulated on both sides of the ball, and Gateway just has not found the way to, kind of still break the seal on it.
Yeah, the score is definitely not a showcase of how Sterling's been in the jaws of Gateway this whole game. And once again, yet another turnover. The Clamps have been on all night. And a pass to Gary. This time the layup will go, and they give the lead to Gateway by 2 here. So we reach the halfway point of the third quarter. Gateway's up by 2. It's 20-18 the score. Sterling can find something. Paris Logan has a lane. A bit too much contact. They'll go to the line once more on a shooting foul.
And this is exactly what the Lady Knights someone who has not done great from the charity stripe tonight, but still trying to find her groove. And Paris Logan has an opportunity to knock this one up at 20 if she can nail both of these free throws.
Paris Logan goes for her first. And in it goes.
And welcoming in our athletic director, Mr. Sayano.
Mr. Sayano, welcome to the broadcast.
Can't hear us.
Oh, no.
So we're going to just
hang in with
Mr. Sayano for just a moment as he's going to try and figure it out on his side.
Well, while the figuring out goes, we'll see the offensive figure out here as Feeney gets it over to Hughes. It goes to DeMays. And back to Hughes, then back to DeMays. DeMays over to Gary. Gary trying to drive in. Finds beyond the arc, but it goes nowhere. Tries to save it, can't. We're going Sterling possession. So after 2 made free throws and some echoes from Sayano, we're tied at 20. Once again, while the game has been tied again, it hasn't felt that way because of just how well Gateway's been doing. Now we've got pass into Paris Logan. She's got a nice room. Once again, we'll go to the line.
And Paris Logan just does an amazing job at drawing fouls because of how physical she plays underneath and in the post. It kind of gives defenders a little bit of a problem, and now Paris Logan has taken countless trips to the line tonight.
It's her 5th or 6th trip to the line, I believe. So we see she goes for her first this time around, and she makes it. Gives Sterling the lead by 1 point. Some substitutions will be in. Molly Hoffaker for Frazier. Looks like they're going to...
So Sterling's going to have to look back to get into some rhythm here. Really going to have to finish this one out against the Gators, as they have not done a tremendous job of doing that so far tonight. As the team, again, just looking a little bit all over the place. But Paris Logan trying to will them back here as she makes 2 free throws.
She's slowly trying to find her groove. She's been 4 for 4 in the second half from beyond the arc, or from at the line, excuse me. As we see now, yet another offensive attack here as Feeney gets to Gary. Gary tries to find something, gets it back to Feeney. Feeney trying to find some open space, doesn't quite have it, gets it back to DeMays.
Great closeout defense by the Lady Knights on Feeney.
Feeney, as soon as you say it, the 3 goes in and the lead's taken back. It's the color commentary curse.
Yeah, Feeney just does a tremendous job from beyond the arc as Lexi Kuhn can't nail that one in.
Paris Logan wrestles it away, draws yet another foul. Complaints from the crowd, but nonetheless, the ref's whistle blows when it does, as we see here. A hand goes in the face of Feeney, but it does a whole lot of nothing. She's got 12 on the day.
Yeah, and I heard a little murmur from the side of me. No rebound on that one, and Feeney just finishing that one off, and it was beautiful. And as I said, great closeout defense. Once again, a great job by the Lady Knights, but Feeney just ice cold in the veins, nails that one.
First goes. Paris Logan with now her second, trying to retake the lead once again for the Lady Knights. Can't quite get it. We're stuck at 23. And Gateway will bring the ball back up.
And this game has been wicked tight. One team needs to find the will to fly here, as it's been a little tough for either team to break the seal.
If anyone's going to be able to break the seal for the Gators, it's going to be Feeney, who gets fouled there. Looks like it's going to be on, not a foul, it's going to be a timeout for the Lady Knights. Coach McDonald really liking what she's seeing on the defensive side of things. Thought it might be getting a little out of hand. We're going to see if we can get Mr. Sayano working. You can see him here. Hopefully he notices.
Mr. Sayano, can you hear us here on the broadcast? Incoming to Mr. Sayano. Anything.
Not so sure that
Not so sure that Mr. Sayano can hear us. I hope he's connected to his earphones. I feel as that might be the problem.
That could be the issue. It's happened to me too many a time for me to not at least consider it.
So we're going to cut to the crowd while we wait and a nice showing here for the Lady Knights as we're all tied up here at Gateway and got the Collingswood game for the boys later. It's going to be a lot of fun here on Sterling Channel 19 the next couple of hours and the rest of this week as well, as the boys will go against Haddon Heights here at the Castle on Thursday.
They're in quite a lot of action at home as they had a pretty long string of away games for the past month.
And this game has a lot on the Lady Knights side as they are coming off or trying to come off of a 3-game losing streak. Their last game was against Woodbury where they won 49-39 with the Paris Logan game. I think she had 20 points and 11 rebounds in that one. And really just trying to get that spark back on the Sterling team, especially as this year is coming to a close.
And getting that spark back in the closing moments of a season is very important. Getting hot at the right time is very important. We saw them get hot early in the season. Can they do it again is the question. Gateway is trying to halt that for another game longer. Stemaze passes it to Gary. Covered by Wilsey. Then the corner to Feeney. Double coverage. Can't quite get there. Sims gets the ball, gets tripped up. And then Gary gets the ball back. And the play will reset. All the way back up. Feeney is trying to drive through. Can't quite get there.
Now, it's a little crazy to me, Max. We're going to maybe see a replay here. Maddie Sims was basically slide tackled at center court, and no foul was called against her. Maybe it was because the Gateway player tripped, but it seemed to me like she had the ball in her hands and got slide tackled on her lower half. So I think a little shocked.
I think the only reason it didn't get called there was because the initial scuffle did kind of trip up the Gateway player initially, and maybe they're thinking they were trying to get up and just couldn't quite get much of it done before Sims ran into her. But nonetheless, the score stays the same, and calls were called where they will be called. You see Sims get it back to Wilsey, gets it to Hoffaker. Hoffaker passes it underneath to Sims, who finds Hoffaker once again. Gets it to Wilsey. Back to Hoffaker. Passes it underneath to Paris Logan, who tries to make something happen in the paint, and she will. Gets another 2.
Just beautiful moves in the post there by Paris Logan off of a great feed by Molly Hoffaker, who's been doing a good job of, feeding her and Kuhn underneath, and it's just going to have to continue for the Lady Knights to find success.
It's definitely going to have to keep up that kind of scoring and that type of passing to make stuff, really keep it up here. And the defense stays up as Logan gets the rebound, gets out to Hoffaker, passes it up to Wilsey. Wilsey covered tightly by Hughes there. Gets it to Sims, and the play's reset. Gets some communication, trying to move Lexi Kuhn in, but doesn't get much of it. Whoa. Good observation of the play to try and get the steal attempt, but still in Sterling's possession.
And what Sterling has done not a great job of tonight, as we take a look at the replay, the Paris Logan bucket, is kind of leading their passes with their eyes. They're doing a lot of hesitation with the throws, and that kind of gives Gateway a second to, figure out where Sterling's going to go with the ball. And Sterling has caused a lot of turnovers going the other way against Sterling.
It hasn't been a lot of eyes. There's been some head tilts to try and figure out where people want to go. There's been a lot of stepping over to try and find movement, but overall, these things have led to turnovers. Like you said, it hasn't really been, perfectly flowing as it has in other games. And with this inbound pass, they're going to try and find, another few points. They get a streak going, and they will with Paris Logan, making it a 4-point lead for Sterling towards the end of this third quarter. Gateway brings it up. It's Feeney. Feeney tries to find a pass. Can. Domains back to Hughes. Back to Domain. Domains finds Gary. Then all the way out, back to Feeney. Reset it, and they get it back to Gary. Gary tries to drive through and will. Doesn't quite get 2 points. Paris Logan goes for a rebound. Won't get it. Gary will be there. Gary gets the ball tipped. It'll stay in Gateway's possession for the last 6 seconds.
As we take a look at the last basket here by the Lady Knights, they do a good job of just getting this one up. And on that last offensive possession there for Gateway, Sterling's defense did a great job of staying on it, especially that lengthy drive there by the Gators.
The closing moments of this third quarter leave us at 27, Sterling 23, Gateway. 1 more to go, 3 down. Let's take a look at Cinemark.
Movie Man!
Home of the Movie Man, baby. We'll be back with the fourth quarter shortly.
Douglas. Here. Brody. Here. Joshua.
Joshua.
I don't think he signed up for flex time.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, I'm too late.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sterling Channel 19. And hopefully, we have our athletic director, Mr. Ciano, on the call here. Mr. Ciano, can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Hallelujah. I guess that's fourth or fifth time's a charm there. Welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Ciano. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, as always, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm here with Coach Hal.
Hello, Coach Hal.
He's bringing his good luck here for the fourth quarter.
Now, Mr. Ciano, an action-packed, action-packed night here at the Castle for both the girls basketball team and the boys basketball team. But first, the girls, and I think the passing has kind of been a little all over the place for the girls here, but they got to get it under wraps here in the fourth quarter. What are you thinking?
I agree with you 100%. The passing has been a little bit of a struggle, and it's kind of given away some possessions here for us to score.
But I also think on the other side of things, Sterling has done a good job playing defense to get this Gateway Gators squad, and especially against a red-hot Feedy who has just been all over the place for the Gators.
Yeah, as we normally do, we frazzle our opponent. So we're doing a good job of that defensively. It's just about executing now offensively for the next 7 minutes.
And now on the other hand, or on the other side of things, Mr. Ciano, the boys have a pretty important game tonight against the Collingswood Panthers, a fun senior night. And what are you expecting from, the crowd here, the atmosphere, and just the game itself at the Castle?
Well, it's going to come down to, controlling our emotions. Senior night usually comes with a lot of emotions. So if the boys are composed, because the environment's going to be nuts, we'll be fine in the game. We will be fine.
Yeah, as this girls' game goes on, the Lady Knights have kind of battled back and forth between themselves and the Gateway Gators. And really, as much as it's felt like this game has been tied throughout, it's felt like, Gateway has had the majority of the momentum in their favor a lot of this game. Describe, as a coach, when your team is still, in the game, but it hasn't felt like you've played to your best. How do you, talk that through with your girls?
Yeah, so essentially when the score is tied and you're not playing your best, it's a positive thing in my eyes. You gotta spin it to a positive thing. Girls, relax. We're in the game. We're winning the game. Just do what we normally do, and you'll be fine.
Well, I think that's definitely a fair argument. That's definitely something that both Sterling and Gateway are going to have to do as the rest of this game goes. And these free throws keep on coming as they have. That's something I also want to talk about, the free throws for the Gateway side of things. That penalty trouble, I feel like they need to really get that under wraps for this fourth quarter. Based on what you've seen, how would you try to, resolve that in your own coaching way of doing things?
Yeah, it's just discipline defensively. You're right. You're not overplaying anything, forcing bad passes. So if they're Gateway, we're kind of prone to making mistakes with the ball a little bit. So you got it. For them, it's about making sure that they're staying where they need to be in their zone, and they're forcing us to make mistakes, which we're going to look to avoid. Right? We want to make sure that we're controlling the ball at all times here.
It's all very fair viewpoints and arguments to have. Whenever we get into a
here we go.
Whenever we get into a stoppage, I think we are going to get some trivia going.
Oh, I got one for you here. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think we could fit it in here right now if you would like.
Fit it in?
Yeah. Hit us with it, Mr. Ciano.
All right, so the question is, it's the only Super Bowl matchup that has happened that can never happen again. Do we know what it is?
Super Bowl matchup that has happened that can never happen again?
Yeah. So my hint is you got to figure out what caused it to not happen again.
So it's definitely a team that transferred from the AFC to the NFC.
I think Cardinals, because they were moving all over the place.
Well, I also think it could be the Eagles.
Could also be
oh, but it has to be Super Bowl, so it can't be the Eagles.
Baltimore Colts? No, but they would stay in the AFC.
Yep.
Well, you're onto something with the Colts there.
Oh, okay.
Really? So it's
Yeah.
the Colts.
Maybe Baltimore, I guess, counted as the NFC then.
Yeah.
Colts.
It might
Wait,
not
wait,
be an
wait,
NFC,
wait.
AFC thing.
It could be in like an NFL championship.
So
from
if
forever
we're
ago.
if we're on the
But it
Colts,
should be a Super Bowl.
if we're on the Colts, we got to think of an NFC team that they went against in the Super Bowl that cannot happen again.
Well, don't think
Just a
NFC,
team.
AFC.
Just a team.
I don't think NFC.
Could it be
oh,
like-
okay, wait. I have one. No, that wouldn't make sense. Because the I was going to say the Ravens and the Colts, but I don't think that's ever
the Ravens
happened.
didn't exist till the Colts were
Yeah.
out of Baltimore. I feel like there was a matchup super early on in football
Yep.
that was like Colts Chiefs or something like that.
Think early Super Bowl.
Early Super
Think
Bowl.
different. Think AFL.
AFL.
Oh,
teams.
that.
It's an NFL
NFL.
championship.
Oh,
see.
yeah.
This is going to stop me. I'm going to go with the.
Okay, here, I'm going to give you one more hint. Okay.
Go for it.
Besides my Giants, okay, probably one of the worst run organizations in the NFL.
All right, so we got the Raiders, the Browns.
Could it be Colts Jets?
Colts, Jets. Good job,
Yeah,
Max.
there you
Good
go.
job.
I'm
Good
gonna
job,
go-
buddy.
I'll-
Good job.
Jets.
Was it Colts Jets?
It might have been the
Colts
one that the
Jets.
Jets
Oh,
won
my
because the Jets
goodness.
that won.
Oh.
They beat the Colts.
Wow, what a guess, Max.
All right,
I knew
good job.
The Jets played someone stupid in Super Bowl III.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just Joe Namath.
Joe
Oh,
Namath.
wow, yeah. I guess that makes sense. What a
It's a great
question.
job figuring that out. Great job.
Yeah, that was
figuring
all
that out.
Max. I had nothing doing that. My brain was not working
Joe.
with that.
Yeah,
one.
we worked through it together as a team there. It was
Yeah,
nice.
That was a team effort.
Very good. I'm proud of you guys.
And Mr. Saano, make sure you get one for our second game later, as the boys will take on Collingswood tonight for the senior night.
Yes. Yes, I will have one ready to go. I just need a little bit of time here.
All
Two
right,
questions in one day. You're asking a lot here.
Yeah, I know.
It's so much whiteboarding.
All right, Mr. Sayano, we're going to say bye-bye for you for now. Thank you for coming on and tuning in to the broadcast.
No, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you.
It's always a treat having them on here.
Oh, definitely. And while we were, having that conversation, I really don't think the score changed at all.
No, there's. My understanding is Gateway's gotten a free throw point, and there's been a 2 made by Sterling. So it's 29-24. Haven't missed much, but still a little bit of scoring has gone down. So we winding down on this timeout. Missed who took it, but nonetheless a stoppage in the game. There's about 4 minutes to go in this.
I actually don't think that Gateway is taking a timeout yet in this matchup. I think every timeout has been in favor of Sterling as we take a look at the student section. A couple of football players in the crowd. Casimir Okoro is a part of our state championship soccer team.
Crowd slowly starts to flood in as senior night is upon us, and also to support towards the end of this game here. It's been a close one. They kind of missed out coming in late. As you see, they could have seen these fast breaks all game as Paris Logan draws yet another foul. It's a lot of contact there.
And you really got to hope that Paris Logan is okay after that. Definitely a lot of contact. Great hustle by Gary. Paris Logan pops back up, going to go to the line to shoot two, but definitely a scary sight there after a lot of physicality brought there by Gary.
From our point of view, it didn't look maybe a kick to the abdomen happened while they were both kind of in a free fall. Isn't something you want to see, but nonetheless, it seems like both ladies are all right. They're both up, and they're both still ready to play some basketball here for the last 4 minutes. And Paris Logan yet again at the line, shoots her first. And it goes. Make it a 6-point lead for Sterling. Substitutions made. Paris ready to take her second. Can't quite go. So 6-point game it'll be. Sterling gets the ball back. After that, they're going to try and get 2 more points. Hoffaker gets it to Sims, who takes a corner 3. Can't quite go. And DeMays with the rebound, and they'll play up the ball.
So a little under halfway to go here in quarter number 4, and Sterling's just going to have to make sure they play some lockdown defense as this one comes to a close.
100%. The defense has to stay as solid as it has been throughout the first half of this quarter. See here, a nice block by Kuhn. They get their own rebound. They see DeMays. The shot opportunity, and it goes. A little in front of the line, and it'll be for 2. Narrows the lead down to 4 for Sterling. So we see Wilsey has the ball to bring it up.
And then this full court press, Sterling's had a lot of trouble with that this year. Going to have to break that seal as well.
Definitely been a bit of a kryptonite for Sterling throughout this season. Couldn't keep the ball Lexi drops it and will be back as we see at this last basket.
And just a really hard hustle by the Gateway Gators. This one gets out to DeMays. DeMays a little bit smaller, but someone who can really pull it from wherever you want her to on the court. And that was just a great play by the Gateway Gators as time went on.
DeMays has been really good with the assists, with the vision, and with the shots. And so is Feeney. Gets a couple more points. Narrows it down to 2 points with 3 minutes to go. And this full court press is still going for the Gateway Gators against the Lady Knights.
And it really looks like the Lady Knights almost took their gas pedal off, or took their foot off the gas pedal, on that defensive possession, and it kind of let 2 Gateway Gators seep deep into the paint and give them 2 free points.
I mean, off of an inbound pass that went straight to Gateway, they were able to score again. It's just been a lot of making some rough mistakes that are evadable. Oh, but nonetheless, the 3 goes to make it a 5-point game. This is how it's been back and forth. Gateway fights back, and then Sterling has a big hit. And then Gateway has to fight back again. This has been the flow of the game. The shot's a little too much, but a little too much contact after the fact from Paris Logan. Should get a couple of shots for Gateway. As you see here is a nice shot from Sims. Make it 3, and Paris is back down this time.
Looks like she's nursing the ankle. As we take a look at the Maddie Sims three-pointer, who else but ice-cold Maddie Sims just ripping it from beyond the arc around NBA three-point range. And
Maddie Ice.
Maddie Ice, that's a perfect name.
I stole it from Atlanta.
And there is the boys varsity team. I mean, on your screen, a couple of seniors, Jason Camardo, Quentin Rosado, Travis Schmid, and Casey Kozaneski. Marcus Johnson also in frame.
His brother Julian Johnson, yet another senior.
Yeah, and a big night from from the Knights tonight as they go against Collingswood, much needing a win. This is Paris Logan still down, getting checked out by our trainer, Sean Clank, on that right leg. Looks like on the lower half.
Now, if I'm Paris Logan, you've done a lot in this game. You only have 2 minutes 30 to keep playing. It might be better to just take the end of the game off.
And you can follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19. We'll have all the behind-the-scenes shots, all the stuff happening around the castle, and a little peek into Mr. K's daily life. Make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19.
Instagram really jumped out at me. I wasn't ready for Instagram.
And this just isn't a great sight. I mean, this season, Paris Logan, double-double, averaging 10 points per game along with 10 rebounds per game. Someone who's just been a difference maker. Difference maker with all caps for this Sterling squad, and barely able to get off under her own power. And someone who's just such a workhorse in such an important time, especially towards the end of the season. Going down like that just was not something the Lady Knights needed.
No, it's not something you want to see, especially off of, a foul on the latter half of a shot that was already taken. Isn't something you want to see. And the earlier encounter didn't help as the first shot for Gateway will go. Both sides been shooting a lot of good foul shots. Obviously it took some time for Paris Logan, who we just saw leave with the help of our health and trainer. She was doing a lot at the line, and she was doing pretty well. And Gateway players have not been doing that bad themselves when they get to the line. It's been pretty even at the charity stripe.
So Gateway now down by 4. Definitely a big free throw here to try and make it a one-possession game, and they're going to have to play some very solid defense. But with Sterling, one of Sterling's leading scorers out, it could be a little bit easier for the Gators to try and capitalize here.
Definitely. But it also means that these Lady Knights are going to have to find these people who haven't been as big of an impact, like Lexi Kuhn, who has had a couple of points, but not always. She gets a foul here, gets a couple more shots. As you see here, off the inbound, it's QB22 coming out again, finds the deep route. And then just a little too much contact by Feeney. Did look like it was mostly on the ball, but nonetheless, it was obviously very fast. It's hard to call it, really perfectly with so much speed of the play. And the first will go to make it a 4-point game once again.
And Kuhn, someone who's just so good from the charity stripe. 76% shooter, has 11 points tonight, matching her point per game rate, and makes it 12 now. But someone who's been so clutch for this Lady Knights team today, someone that they definitely need as this game winds down as well.
And she's got the highest free throw percentage, on the whole Lady Knights team. If anyone's going to go to the line, you want it to be Lexi Kuhn. You see her 3 attempts, doesn't quite go, but the ball saved. Goes right to Sims. And then down to Wilsey. Could have a shot, but the defense collapses on it. Takes the mid-range and it'll go, makes the lead 7.
QB22 once again just finding the open, I guess you could say, receiver. And perfectly placed there for Amber Wilsey, who kind of takes a step back, does a little mid-range jumper. Definitely the right move there by Wilsey.
If we want Hertz to play well, we're going to want him to watch some Maddie Sims tape before Sunday. See here, just yet another great assist. Long range, gets it to Wilsey, gets a nice mid-range off. As you see, it'll still be Gateway's ball after a little bit of scuffle that went out of bounds, but still a 7-point deficit. It's multiple possessions they're going to have to make up for. Shot goes up, but can't quite go. And DeMays gets the ball up right to Sims, who goes right to Frazier, and then back to Sims. A little too much of a shove there. Will stay in possession of Sterling regardless.
And talk about a beautiful camera angle from our TV truck there. Looking down on the court, there it is once again. Just
lovely.
A lovely shot that we have here on Sterling Channel 19. A lot of those.
Makes our job easier as to where everyone is.
No kidding.
As you see now.
No post-game show because of the doubleheader, so we will go straight to the Collingswood game after this. If you're watching on YouTube, we're going to have to make another link, so you guys are going to have to go out and then find our new TV stream of the boys versus Collingswood games. Make sure you guys take note that that will not be streamed on this YouTube link. This will be streamed on a new link. As now Maddie Sims going to the line, shoot 2.
Just another instance of a lot of fouls. That's going to be the Gators' 5th. And the Sterling has been a little more foul troubled than that this quarter. They have 4 fouls against them. It's been pretty even on fouls. His first shot doesn't go. See, their head coach, Dan McGowan, has not been agreeing with every call the refs have given them. So obviously a lot more fouls have gone Gateway's way, but they have been playing a pretty aggressive, defensive and offensive ball game as the second will go.
Beautiful swish noise there from our basket mic.
It sounded real nice.
It did.
But obviously it makes sense for Coach McGowan to not be super happy when all the calls are kind of getting thrown at his girls' way. It's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. See yet another miss, another rebound for Sims. And Lexi Kuhn will bring it up. Hits it back to Sims, so they're going to call back court.
So we're going to take a look at that whole possession going up as we see Lexi Kuhn stop and throws it back behind. And it looks like Sims did not progress up on the court quick enough, and that'll be a backcourt violation. Not a great play there by the Lady Knights, especially with time ticking down in this one.
Yeah, only a minute to play. You can't be making mistakes like that because 8 points, well, it feels like a pretty safe cushion. If you don't play your cards right, it really is, it could be another even game as quickly as it is this gap. They really need to play it a little differently as they get the rebound here. They want to try and hold on to the ball. Sims gets it out to Kuhn, who does have Wilsey on the other side if they're not feeling too safe. A little too much contact. I think it's going to be a foul on the floor, so
there will be a foul on the floor.
Won't go.
Now, Max, someone I did want to mention and talk about here for just a quick second to cut you off, and Molly Hoffaker has been face guarding Bellafini as this, fourth quarter has gone on, and the freshman doing an amazing job against the senior, kind of limiting her to very little points here in this fourth quarter, and I think that adjustment that Coach McDonald made has really been positive for the Lady Knights.
As the first shot goes, yes, definitely. Bellafini has been a name we've heard for a good 3 quarters, but this last quarter we haven't heard much of her, and it's all because Molly Hoffaker has been very much in her face. And 2 goes now, a 10-point game with 42.9 seconds and counting. Yeah, Molly Hoffaker, and we'll see it again here. It's another example of being in her face, and Feeney knows that. And Lexi Kuhn gets the ball once again. Grab into the arm. Clock will stop with 33 seconds to go. Still in Sterling's possession.
Yeah, this game is coming to a close here. Sterling now at the 10-point lead. Another foul, and their best free throw shooter going straight to the line to shoot 2. And we are over our scoring average here for Lexi Kuhn as she has 12 on the night, make that 13. Actually,
doesn't quite make her second. It goes in and out. And it'll go in the way of Gateway for the last 33 seconds here. They got to make something out of this possession.
Yeah, Sterling doing a great job tonight, scoring a little more than they average. They average 33, normally scoring 41 tonight against Gateway. Very successful here by the Lady Knights, and a nice bucket there by Feeney.
Feeney trying to make a name for this fourth quarter as it winds down. The pass needs to go. Long ball to Kuhn. Kuhn could have something there. Doesn't. But Frazier with the rebound. Puts it in for yet another 2. Another 11-point lead as time dies down with 5 seconds to go. They're going to try and make maybe a last-ditch effort. Final 3 can't quite go. And the Knights will win this one 43-32 over Gateway. So you see, thank you guys so much for watching this this Lady Knights basketball game. We'll be back very shortly on a new stream